Welcome everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma and today we're going to have a little bit of a controversial talk, and it's going to be about the issue with modern Muslims. And I'm including myself in this, so don't think that I'm going to be this high and mighty, holier than thou figure, because I'm definitely guilty of maybe all of these. I'm not sure. So let's just start off with talking about idol worship. Now, you're probably like, whoa, I don't worship an idol. I'm not in my house with an idol praying to it. And I'm sure you're not. However, we have our own modern day version of idol worship, at least in my opinion. And when I'm saying that, I mean that we have things that we say bring us good, and we kind of put them in place of Allah. Allah is the bringer of all things good in our life. Allah brings us good. And so when good things happen to you, you should be attributing them to Allah and not to, say, your boss or money or a new car or something like that. So I think we tend to worship things like phones and cars and TV shows and social media and stuff like that. Even our jobs, we take these things and we put them where Allah should be. Now, I'm not saying that you're saying your phone is God, because you're not, or at least I hope you're not, but you are, in a sense, worshiping it and putting it in place of Allah. I think the biggest thing, though, that people put in place of Allah is work and money. People talk a lot, at least in America. America is a capitalist society, and you're going to have to accept that if you haven't already. So we focus on the money, and the money gets put in place of Allah, unfortunately. We talk about, constantly wanting to get the best job, constantly wanting to get and amass more money and more things, and how money and our work will bring us good, when it's really Allah who is giving you this money, Allah who is giving you this job, Allah who is giving you this car, this phone. You should be thanking Him every day for the blessings that you have, because it's not even you. It's Allah. You can't even give yourself credit, because you have to give Allah credit for the good that you're doing, if that makes sense. Of course, be happy that you're doing good. Of course, be happy for your successes, for your wins, for the things you're doing correctly. And yes, you can give yourself a bit of credit, but you also have to remember that the credit that you're giving yourself, you need to also give to Allah, because you wouldn't be doing these things without Him. Money and material items are not going to fulfill you. And I think we fall into this trap of thinking if we have the next best phone, or if we have a bigger house, or if we have the cutest clothes, we are going to feel better. And that's just not true. And I know this because I've tasted life where I thought that material possessions were going to make me feel better. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. It does in a sense, but it's not a feel better in the way that it continuously makes you feel better. You feel better for a little bit, and then you're wanting the next thing. Then something new comes out and you want that and you strive for that. And you're just not fulfilled because you're constantly looking for the next best thing. But when you have Allah, He is able to fulfill you. And I know you know what I mean when you're on your prayer rug and you're in the middle of your prayer and you're just feeling this sense of calm and serenity. That is fulfillment that Allah is giving you. And life would be pretty empty without him. I think a lot of people who aren't religious are going to look at this and say that I'm saying that nothing in this life should make you feel good and that only Allah should make you feel good. And I'm not necessarily saying that. And I want to kind of break it down a little bit, what I am saying, because as I'm kind of listening to what I'm saying, I'm sort of trying to hear it from an atheist or an agnostic perspective. And I'm realizing that there could be some confusion. So let me talk a little bit about something. I have pretty severe depression, and what kept me from doing bad things to myself, we're going to say that to avoid triggering anybody, but to keep myself from doing bad things to myself, I would think about my cat, because I had a cat. I still have the same cat, actually, and she brings me joy, right? Okay. This joy that I get from her comes from Allah. And so when I get joy from her, yes, I can be happy that she's there, but I have to also then thank Allah for bringing her into my life. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So yes, by all means, enjoy what this dunya has. Enjoy what's here. Enjoy what Allah has given us. But just don't forget to thank him. Don't forget to remember that Allah is the reason for the good in your life. The next thing I want to talk about, this is going to get me in trouble. I just know it. I already know it. But that's okay. I still want to talk about it. And this is, we're having a little bit of a hijab talk. Now, when I say we're having a hijab talk, I'm not going to get into how to wear it, like what style is appropriate and what's not. Like that's a conversation that, you know what, just that's not a conversation I'm going to have with you. Unless you want me to have that with you. And then maybe I can make a video about it and get in even deeper trouble. I really wanted to talk about something that I've been seeing a lot on Instagram. I've been seeing a lot of people wearing hijab as a fashion statement. What we need to remember is that we are wearing hijab to please Allah, because Allah made a command, because we are hearing and obeying. We are carrying out Allah's word. That is why we wear hijab. There's nothing wrong with making it pretty. Like, I'm wearing a pretty hijab right now. It looks kind of nice. I like it. There's nothing wrong with that, with wanting to make yourself look good and presentable. In fact, we are told that we should look good and presentable. We're told that looking good and presentable is a-okay. But you shouldn't be putting the hijab on and not remembering Allah. You shouldn't be putting on a hijab or picking out hijabs with the sole focus being fashion, right? I see a lot of hijab trends and stuff like that, and there's nothing, I don't necessarily see anything wrong with wanting to look fashionable, but we have to remember what the hijab is. And I think when you're spending all this time worrying about what's the latest in hijab fashion, you lose sight of what the hijab really is. So let's try and remember. Allah said in the Quran that the hijab is to be worn for our protection and to be shown as women of faith. That's why we wear it. We don't wear it to look cute. Like, that's not why we're supposed to wear it. In fact, part of hijab is guarding our beauty. I'm not saying we're hiding and saying, oh, I can't be beautiful, but part of it is guarding yourself, guarding your beauty as a protection, right? I noticed that in public, I don't get catcalled anymore. And that was the thing that I actually had an issue with, because of the way I look, especially when I was late teens, early 20s. I was a lot slimmer then. I was pretty fit, actually, and the way my body was shaped, the way I would dress myself, got a lot of attention from people, from men, and I would get catcalled and all these horrible things that made me feel really bad about myself, that made me feel so gross inside, that because men would say and do things, and it just was like, ugh. That doesn't happen anymore. And I truly believe that it doesn't happen anymore because my hijab is a protection. And I'm not saying if you put hijab on, you're not going to get any catcalls or anyone paying attention to you, because you will. You definitely will. I've seen men comment on women in full niqab, where you can only see their eyes, and they're still making inappropriate comments. So you're gonna get things like that, but I would definitely say you're gonna get less. And that is a protection. That is coming from Allah. And also, when we wear it, we're showing the world that we're Muslim. We're being visibly Muslim. I think when you wear your hijab as a fashion statement, you kind of lose sight of that too, because you're losing sight of the fact that you are portraying what a Muslim woman is. And I've seen a lot of people say, oh, well, the burden shouldn't be on us. We shouldn't have to go out in the world, and nobody should look up to us and say, oh, you're wearing hijab, so that's what a Muslim is. Well, I'm sorry, but that's just the reality of wearing hijab. People know that women who wear hijab are Muslims, and therefore, because we live in a judgmental society, people are going to judge you and then your religion based on the way you talk and act. That's just what's going to happen. There's no way around it. So when you put hijab on, you are actually representing your religion, whether you want to or not. And I do believe that hijab is obligatory because it's in the Quran that we should wear it, but I do still hear people say it's not. But I believe that it is, and I think we should be wearing it. But I think before you even put it on, you need to think about the meaning of it, the why. And if you're not ready, or you don't think you're able to do this, maybe you need to wait before you put it on. I don't see any problem in waiting until you feel ready to put it on, because I think a lot of people aren't ready for the responsibility of being visibly Muslim. It's hard. People get scared. People are worried about judgments, about potential safety issues, and because yes, it's a protection, but unfortunately we do live in a society where people might hurt you based on being visibly Muslim. I will say that if you are hurt because you are wearing hijab, right, Allah will look at you with love because you carried out his commandment. You did what he said, no matter what anybody thought. And maybe it got you harmed, but maybe you'll be blessed because of that. And I think you can be fashionable while wearing hijab. again, like I said, we are supposed to look nice and presentable. That is a thing we're supposed to do. But I think you can look nice and presentable without wearing hijab as a fashion statement. I've also seen hijab used as a status symbol. Now, I don't know if this is the case anymore, and I'm not making this up. Okay, I'm telling you this from something that a friend told me. Okay, about her own personal life experience. So I'm not going to name her name. I will tell you where she's from. She is from Dubai, and this was back in 2013? 2013. Things have probably changed since 2013. I'm just going to say that right now. But there's a point to this. So at that point in time, it might have been 2014. Either way, things have probably changed. Anyway, at that point in time, my dear friend, she told me, because I had seen pictures of her in hijab, but she didn't wear hijab day to day. And these pictures were all of her in Dubai. And when she's in the States, she doesn't wear hijab. Or at least she didn't then. And I asked her about it. I said, why are you wearing it there? And she said that it was a status symbol. She said that people who wore hijab were often seen as better than people who didn't. And I'm not from Dubai. I never lived in Dubai. I don't know how much truth there was to that, but that is what she told me. And I think that is also something that needs to be looked into, because why wear it for status? Why wear it just to seem better than somebody else? I don't get that at all. I don't get it. I didn't get it then, and I certainly don't get it now. But yeah, those are some of the issues that I found in the modern Muslim society, culture, whatever. This is from an American revert Muslim's perspective, so keep all that in mind. Please go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps out the channel, and I would love it if you would subscribe to see more of this. And yeah, if you've got any questions, comments, or snide remarks, put them in the comments down below. All right. Oh, and one more thing. You can find me on Instagram right here. And I'm gonna be trying to post on Instagram a little bit more. Instagram isn't exactly my strong suit, but I am going to try and up my game at least a little bit. We'll see how that goes. Okay, have a good one. Bye!